Welcome to Coach's Corner, everyone. I'm Lyndon,
Amy.
And Debbie.
and this is Coach's Corner. This is where we help people change their relationship with food and fitness. So, if you like this video, like it, share. Don't forget to hit the notification button and subscribe so we reach more people and you get what we put out as we put it out. All right. Again, this is just us sharing what has helped us change our lives to help every one of you. So today we're going to be discussing mental wellness and mindset. A lot of it has to do with the fact that I think a lot of people have a specific approach where it's either I'm doing it and I'm doing it extremely well, or I'm not doing it at all. And I'd like to talk about what that is and maybe give people some ways to beat the mindset. Also, when they feel in those spaces, to come out of it. All right. I think there's a lot of losses in a all or nothing mindset because let's say you're like me, you're someone who has a lot of things going on in your life at one time. So when one thing goes wrong, it feels like a house of cards, easy to knock down once it loses the one thing. That leads to a defeatist mindset, and all of a sudden you're doing nothing instead of trying to do the thing that you were doing. So let's talk about our own experiences with feeling defeated via the all or nothing mindset. Anybody got anything particular that comes to mind? No, nobody
Yes.
really, really. Go, go for it.
I think everything I was doing before I found this space
Mm.
felt like the all or nothing mindset, the perfectionist attitude is like, I think the biggest thing I've stepped away from since I've been here. Um, I grew up hearing in my ear, do it right the first time or don't do it at all.
Mm.
Right. And that is what I internalized and how I was moving through life. And with that, yeah, there's a lot of L's you take.
Mm.
Because I'm human, and like if I'm trying to learn something new, how do I do that and do it right every time? I think that's one of the biggest things is if you are trying to make change, you have to realize you're trying to learn something new, and that the best way to learn something new is to fail a bunch.
Mm.
So if you're trying to be perfect while going through that process, it's impossible. You're shooting yourself in the foot. So yeah, I think my definition of consistency changed from it used to be the definition of constant, and now it's the definition of keep going. I think consistency doesn't look like doing something constantly the same every time and getting it right. It looks like doing your best, and the times that a roadblock comes up, you keep going. You find a way around the roadblock to still get it done. And I think that's the biggest change for me from perfectionism to,
Mm.
yeah.
Consistency via perseverance, not pessimism.
Yeah.
Being pessimistic.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think that is the all or nothing mindset in and of itself. It's like, I missed this thing, and all of a sudden I can't do anything. It's paralyzing, and I think people think once you done a thing, that's it, and they're like, all right, cool, I got past it, I did it one time, and that's enough. It's like, no, if you're constantly trying to improve as a human being, there should be a lot of moments of fear, doubt, a little bit of anxiety, maybe some pain involved. So that's why they say things like the healing process isn't that messy. You're doing a lot of things you've never done before. And it's funny because I said in the beginning, but I don't think it's that messy as you go on, right? Like the first time you've been broken and choose to go the right direction, that's different than the fourth time you're heading in the same direction. It's just another level,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it doesn't feel destructive to you anymore. It may feel very difficult, it may feel very challenging, it may feel like it's testing your limits, but most people, once on the path, again, especially certain steps in, usually stay with it. So it just feels different to fail. I think I that was my personal thing, was realizing that uh failure was my growth, right? Like 100%. But even more so than that, I would say the biggest thing for me was realizing that it had to be figured out, right? Like I got tired as a person of getting to the same space, doing everything I could to move past it, but ending up right back in the same spot. And then I read a passage in a little thing called the Bible, and it talked about how, first of all, God doesn't give you anything that you can't get through or out of. Secondly, and way more important, the lesson continues until it's learned. Right? So I kept revisiting the same space because I was supposed to learn the lesson that comes with it. And that's something I constantly realize about myself. The interesting part is every time I didn't solve it, but I came back to it, I had another skill that allowed me to get through it in a different way. So failure actually can be progress because of the simple fact that if you take it in, you get to the next time you come to it, you're a better person. You're more closer to what you'd like it to be, even if you haven't unlocked the door to get there yet. So I think that's important in our conversation is people realizing that perfectionism is one of the biggest bull-faced lies you can be told. There are plenty of times when we're in training and it's just you're gonna try something new and you don't get it and you just don't, right? I think once you create a certain level of consistency in the gym, then it starts to look like it looks like shoring your body up and pushing past the limit of self-perceived strength, right? That's a different thing, and again, that can serve you in a different way as well. I think here at Getting It Daily, we also do that. I think a lot of times I'll say things like, "Do grab a weight that scares you," and people will pick so different when that is said, and you can tell it's based on the level of how I feel, where I feel I am, and how confident I am. Then there are people who are picking because it's not about confidence at all. It's just about literally getting to the attempt or effort. And you have other people in the room who will pick so below the actual effort that you even wonder why they're here, right? Uh, all three come together and form what most of us would view as perfectionism. Again, there's a lot of different things that happen there. But the most important part is that, again, people are judging, people are themselves and other people, and sometimes you're just wrong. You have no idea what's going on with that person. You have no idea what they're fighting through. You have no idea what they experienced or faced in the morning. You're literally just wrong, right? Best thing to do when that's happening is focus on yourself. Stop worrying about other people. Underused skill. That's that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Right. I definitely have struggled with perfectionism, and I think I've through failing at stuff and then getting better at stuff. I think other words sometimes are helpful, like maybe being meticulous, being aware, being resilient, consistency. Like if we can replace the blanket word perfectionism with some of those words, I think that helps failure be something that we see as like leading to a positive. Like humility, throw that in there. Like perfectionism is really like an egotistical concept.
Mm-hmm.
Ego protecting you, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if you drop that, then you get those other words.
Can we? Huh.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting to me, right? Your mind is a home. You live in it. Like you're the person that lives in the house, right? Determined on what's there and how comfortable you are there, it feels like a prison or it feels like freedom, right? I'm laughing because you said reframe, right? So there's this instance, right? There's a lot of uh there's a lot of different moments I think where people get to see different aspects of the thing, right? Even myself, I'm a person who moves cyclically, right? Like there's certain things, there's times where I was like, I'm here, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. And then there's times where I'm like, no one should be talking to me at any point in this moment because I could rip your face off, right? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just real focused, right? Which is why I relate to you on that so much. The other day, I remember
Okay.
this was an initiation moment. Why are you saying I'm good? Why are you
Good.
saying I'm good? The other what's happening about you? The whole thing was so we were in training and I watched Dev went to go do some move. I don't remember exactly what it was. He's like, I can't do it. And then everybody was like, all right, just go down. I said, no, everybody back up, figure it out.
Oh, I do
And
remember.
he was like, and then you just like you saw the shift, right? And I was like, figure it the fuck out. And as soon as I said that, he got it, right? And it's a lesson. I don't think most people understand what it's like to tap into who you are,
Hmm.
right? And especially for men, there's a lot of different things out there that say we're not supposed to do. This is not who you this isn't being a man. This is being a man. There's all this stuff out here, right? I realized that consistency was important, right? But there was a point in my life where there was no door, just a wall. In order to get through the wall, I had to stop complaining. I had to stop looking for exits, and I had to literally start punching my way through that wall, whatever that looked like. And those moments in my life became the change of me as a human being, showing up for everybody at a different level, right? So it was funny hearing even this morning. It's like, hey, you're a little more aggressive nowadays. I was like, I got to show up some way because it's been hard for me to show up any other way, right? Like, and by that I mean like me and purpose doesn't have time for excuse. Me and purpose realizes how precious it is to be here. Me and purpose, I'm riding my bike here and I'm listening to certain things and I'm just crying half the way here because the gratitude of waking up when someone next to me didn't, when someone else wasn't able to, changes you. And then I feel like I said this. I said honoring. I don't remember who I said this to. Tasha. I said, she said, how do you move on when you lose people who are near and dear to you, someone you care about? I said, moving forward looks like honoring what they saw in you. And I was like, that's really hard for most people to grasp, right? Like, if you see me as this amazing community leader and I really believe in you and I believe in you and I love you, then I do my best to meet your expectation, right? Doing that has made me who I am today. Most people saw me as this before I ever saw myself as this. I saw myself completely different. And again, perfectionism stood in the way of me moving forward until I lost someone near and dear to me. And the first time I lost somebody, I remember that. I recently lost my grandfather, right? When I lost my grandfather, I remember holding my grandmother and saying, okay, hard for me to say, right? My my grandfather was a man of action for sure. Um, he was the type of guy who didn't talk a lot, didn't have a lot to say, but he cared. And as a kid, I was so angry at him, always taking my time, always making me do stuff I don't want to do. And today, all of the lessons that him and my dad taught me is how I move. It's what I give. It's how I show love. So there's a part of me that just didn't understand. I realized that looking back at the love that they gave, I am now the rock that we all need because they helped forge me to be. Um, that has made it so I can be here for everybody. I said that to Carlette this morning. I said being a, a good man looks like being able to take the pain. I said I don't know if a lot of people are going to be able to understand what that means. It looks like taking the pain. Um, if my wife has a crazy moment, if someone approaches me insane, I can't let my ego be the thing that stops, that destroys my life in a moment. Um, if something goes wrong and somebody needs me to save them, I can't show up and say I can't do it. I can't. I can't do that. I cannot be that guy. So I remember hugging my grandmother and she signed a do not resuscitate. And I remember saying, I got it. I remember saying that. And she said, and most of the time, what's said is stuff like, okay, baby. Like, like they want you to, they get what you're trying to say. She said, I know. And held me so tight, I'm afraid I'm going to lose her this year. But I'm here, right? I'm here. I'm here. I'm doing a thing. And there's so much life and light in my life right now. So realizing that I just got a responsibility to be better for the people around me. Yeah. So I'm doing just that. And it is not easy. It's not easy. It doesn't feel good. That's the lie. The lie is people think it feels good. But being the person who can't be moved is so draining, dog. It's so draining. But I know some good men who do it every day. I do, and again, I hold space for them. Let me give you a space where you can be you. It has returned in ways I don't even understand sometimes until I need it. Until I need it. Then I get it. Then I get it. So, perfectionism would never have allowed me to do that. Someone else's vision and me attempting to manifest the thing is what brought me here today. So there be mornings I show up, I'm like, I'm not sure if I should say things like that. You've all been like, no, you can, we actually look at you that way. And I'm like, so now I have to strip away and stop all the doubt in my mind and what the world taught me for the last 40 years as a person and show up as that individual in that moment. I think training was the first place I learned to do that. It's that simple. Stripping away what I was told and showing up real and raw for the first time in my life showed up when I decided to stop making excuses. Right? So if you're really trying to change, one of the things that's standing in your way is you thinking it has to look a specific way. Right? Showing up as who you are. Sure, you might lose some people, you might lose some things. I can tell you right now, my circle is not the same as it was 10 years ago. But I can also tell you that the circle I have now, I wouldn't trade it for the circle 10 years ago. I wouldn't. So, again, don't let how you think it's supposed to look be what it is. Try seeing yourself through someone else's vision of you and use that to anchor yourself to create some damn change. You know how many people, we all got people in our lives who see us in a way that we damn sure have trouble seeing ourselves. Yeah. So I think it's important to give ourselves that space and use that to lock in. Like I remember 3 days ago, I was having a hard time, and Ashley came in the room and she just grabbed my face. She said, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "It's heavy. Like it's just heavy, right?" And I remember her saying, "Well, that shouldn't be a problem for you." Part of me felt shattered in that moment. I felt unseen, and I said it. I said, I don't think you hear what I'm saying to you, ma'am. I'm not that. She said, "No, no, no," and she said, "Hold on." She grabbed all three kids. and and then when I tell you these kids like just touching my face, like what's that coming out of your eyes, Dad? I've never seen that from you. I've never seen you cry. What's going on? LJ's like tapping me, like LJ just be doing whatever he want to do, but in this moment he was just touching my face. Like what's that, Dad? I've never seen that from you. It was all the reminder I needed that this is hard, but it's fucking worth it. Yeah. So I became a different person because they need me. Plain and simple. Shouldn't even be crying on damn camera, but we promised we would be open and honest with you guys. So my change didn't come from feeling good about myself. It came from figuring it the fuck out. Anytime I get the chance, that's why I say that. I get it. It's hard. But what happens when you give yourself no excuse? What happens when there's no exit? There's no way around. There's no way back. What happens? That space is growth for so many people, but more than anything, men need it because, as we all know, it's Men's Mental Health Month, and I have watched so many men end it because they can't see a way through. So, if I can offer you different, and we done did the work, we're here. I'm gonna do that. I think that's the most important part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to make everybody cry. But
Right.
I didn't mean to make everybody cry, but it really was something where I needed to learn different. And again, I was forged in that space. I'm revisiting a version of me that just did not care for excuse. And it was so, he was in solitude and loving it. I hated it at first. I hated it so much. I'm so angry at it. And then halfway through, I was just like, man, no one else is around me because I'm doing something nobody else wants to do. You know how many days I got up at fucking 4 o'clock to make it to the gym at 5 or 6 by myself, right? And again, that's what people don't realize, that this manifestation is not the win; it's what happened before. So that's what we pursue, 100%. No matter who comes in my door, no matter what state you in, you gonna leave better when you go. That's my whole thing. If people watch me do it, watch me interact with people. I don't care how you feel. I care what I can give to you. M said it real good the other day. She said, if I don't see you tomorrow, I want you to know you're loved. So that's why you'll see me yell at somebody and then take that same person in the corner and tell them, like, I know you can do better than this. You need to stop. Right? Like, call them out. And we gonna end it on this note, but watching watching Devin go from, let's say, not so comfortable to being more comfortable around other men and what that looks like was absolutely why I knew you needed to be at 5 a.m. That's why I kept pushing you, right? But to hear that from other men must have felt really great this morning. Yeah, I must have felt really great. Like, oh shit, it's working. What's different when you get acknowledged? When somebody else see it, it's different, ain't it? Than when you think you got it. It's when other people say it. Like, and Aaron said, he said, "Linda, what you been doing to Devin? He kind of aggressive." I do nothing. I just give the plan, and the man does the work. I don't make you do it. All right, you have to want it bad enough. Perfectionism won't stand in the way when you pair it with who you are, in my opinion, and give yourself no way out. And again, don't get me wrong. You got to get to a point where you do enough work to where you can say, okay, I need to get through this. Right? That's all you see. That's why I can yell at you now. That's why I can shout from across the room and know I barely got to talk. You gonna get it, and it's gonna happen. And they see it. You see how it resonates. I don't even got to tell you. You see how it resonates. So I'm just glad for y'all. But at the same time, man, this journey can get rough. Yeah. Is there anything you want to add?
I think we didn't hear from.
You were the only person we
I
didn't
already
hear.
talked.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was
No, we
Amy.
gotta wrap it up. It's all good.
All right, yeah, let's wrap it up then. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to join our community, check us out, www.gettingitdaily.com, or you can check us out on social media under the moniker for Facebook and Instagram, Getting It Daily. All right. Till next time, I'm Lyndon.
Amy.
And Debbie.
And we're signing off.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah. Yeah.